Could you be with a man if he cheated on you?
If Aloys cheated me with a younger girl, I wouldn't be worried. Because younger girls, they just come in for little things, shoes, handbag, and then they take, when things are bad, they'll take off. But if he cheated on me with a mature woman, I'd be scared.
You think a woman should play hard to get from a girl?
Of course.
Why? Why?
Every time a guy is looking for you, calling you just available. I don't think that's right. And he came to me and he said, oh, Swahili, tukishamaliza hapa, can we go somewhere else? I was like, no, I'm not going anywhere after here. I'm going with my friends. They listen to the rappers and what the rappers say in the music. Let's go and smoke weed. Let's go and smoke, I don't know what. They don't even take the drugs.
Facts.
But they talk about it in the music.
Welcome back to the Rabasha Family Podcast, everyone. I got a special guest in the building. I've been waiting to do the part 2. We're going to do a lot of interviews, but Mom, how does it feel to be back?
Oh, it's been a minute. A minute, yeah.
Where are you off to this evening?
I'm going to a birthday party, a very good friend of mine. My prayer warrior gift. Yeah, so we're going to celebrate in the city.
In the city, huh?
Yeah, she's my age, what? 58. But she doesn't look it.
Oh no, she looks very young.
Yeah.
You guys are doing well. By the way, guys, before we get started, there will be limited availability to put an advertisement space in the Rabasha Family Podcast. Now, Mom, we are a growing audience, and this day, podcasts, that's where all the advertisements, that's where they're putting their money, marketing, YouTube channels, stuff like that. That's where it's growing. And so we have such a target audience. So you could be actually one of the lucky ones who gets your visibility, gets your brand in front of a target audience, in front of customers. It's a no-brainer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so let's get into this episode, Mom. So where we left off from last time, I want to ask you, okay, so you meet Dad, and then what happens after? Like, talk about the first date.
So I met him. Oh, then we went to. Of course he chased me for a while, and then one day he came. I was just on a Sunday, a day off. I was sitting at home chilling, and then I hear a knock on the door, and there's these 3 guys. Like, remember I said in the last advert, can I have some? In the last advert, in the last episode, that we did.
Wait 1 second.
We'll edit that. Well, this man is hot. I'm dying.
And then you got makeup on too.
Yeah. So use the fan to make the noise. Oh God, this place will hate.
Let me borrow it too.
Those small fans from upstairs, they're not noisy.
Yeah, you can try it. You want to bring it?
Bring the one in the TV room. Bring the one in the TV room.
Okay, so when you guys started dating or going out on dates?
So like I mentioned in the last episode, we gave phone numbers then because it was safe. We didn't have pedophiles then. We didn't have crazy people then, like now. Yeah, so gave him my address, not my phone number. We didn't have phone numbers then. We had landlines. So yeah, then one Sunday, because he tried to chase me, I was playing hard to get.
When you say he was trying to chase you, what you mean?
Like he was after a date for many.
So he was like calling you?
Calling me. Yeah, we call it chase. I was old school. And then.
So wait, when he was calling you, what were you saying?
I'm on a flight. I'm working. I'm busy meeting my friends.
Why were you playing hard to get?
To be honestly, then I was not really interested. To be honest, I was not playing hard to get. Like, oh, you can get me, but yes, you can't get me. I was just not. My mind was not there yet.
Hey guys, I know you're enjoying this video. Let me quickly tell you about this product that we have. It's a cling wrap, foil, and baking paper organizer. It will organize your drawer. If you're anything like me, you have that drawer in the kitchen that you open and it's just like so messy. It has like a foil box and all of that messy stuff. This product will put everything in one. You can slide your products in and Really easy to access, easy to use, easy to cut. Get it. Link in the video.
He had tried so many times to get hold of me to go out for a drink, but I was always very busy.
Wait, why were you playing hard to get? Why were you not?
Yeah, because it was not in my mind then to just be with someone.
Okay.
So mentally, I wasn't mentally prepared.
Do you think that's when a guy meets a girl? Do you think a woman should play hard to get from the girl?
Of course.
Why? Why?
I mean, you can't just be available. Like for me, I just think that every time, and this is what I tell even the girls here today, every time a guy is looking for you, calling you, just available. I don't think that's right.
So you think so?
Just make yourself unavailable, even though you're available. Get a hobby, going swimming, do something, play golf, and that will make you unavailable.
So make it hard for him until like when do you then like say, all right, cool?
I'm from the old school. We played it up to even 6 months, even 8 months.
What?
Yes.
6 months?
Yeah.
So you would just keep ignoring him?
Yeah. Ignoring and saying, not ignoring per se, but saying, I'm not available today, I'm busy, I have to go and do this, I have to do that. So you just play hard to get. Just because then it was just not school, just to meet a guy and just be like, start going out with them straight away.
But even for a coffee, something, you like...
No, I didn't do that.
Really?
No.
Just say no.
No, I'm so busy, I'm working. And there's also, it took quite a while because I'm a flight attendant. I used to go away for 1 week. By the time I come back, maybe I have weekdays off and it's just time for me. And then by the time I go on a flight again, it's another week. Because those are the days that airlines, flight attendants used to go away for a week. It's not like now. People just go for 2 days or 24 hours. Because of course, cutting things have changed. But those days we used to go even sometimes for 2 weeks. Yes.
Oh, so you'd be so busy.
Yes.
You'd be out the loop.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So like you tell women advice to at least make him, and then that's true because like if a girl makes me wait for 6 months, if I don't think she's really that worth it, what's 6 months? I don't know. Next.
He was very patient. Like I said initially, I wanted to introduce that to another friend of mine.
A girlfriend?
Yes.
Why?
Because I thought he would be better off with that girl. So I wanted to matchmake them.
What made you think he'd be better off with that girl?
Because she was looking and he was looking. And I wasn't looking. Okay. So they were both looking.
Oh, like to be in a relationship?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I wasn't.
But how did dad make it? Like, how did you know he wanted to be in a relationship?
Because he was after chasing me.
Yeah, but maybe he could have just to date you, but doesn't mean like maybe he wanted to be in a relationship.
He was interested. He had told me his feelings, how he feels about it.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. And that was after.
Remember, I mentioned in the other episode, he had told his friend who he was flying with from Dubai that I'm going to marry that girl. But I didn't know that.
Yeah,
but I didn't know that.
True.
Yeah. So he was very interested.
Oh, so dad was so do you feel at one point he was more interested in you than him?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
He was very interested, yeah.
So
So I tried to introduce him to this girl and he said, no, it's you I'm interested in. Don't bring people. Anyway, we knocked on my door on a Sunday with his friends, and then we went to the carnival. Next to Letitia's house, there's a carnival. Those days it was hot. Carnival was the best place to be. Where they used to play soul music, old school. And we went there, and we went with that girl because I asked her to come with us. So we went there, and I told him, this is the girl, she's called Susan. I wanted to introduce her. He told me, no, I'm not interested in her. You're the one I'm interested with. And then I think maybe a month later, the rest is history.
So, like, when was the point where you were like, damn, I'm actually interested in this guy?
Actually, after Carnival, they said we go to their house, party after party. We went to their house, and funny enough, when we went to their house, so I met, so you're staying there with the brother, and there was Chongo, Yvonne's brother. I had met Chongo, Yvonne's brother, in a concert, Kofi Olomide. He was playing at the Safari Park in Nairobi. And he came to me and he said, "Oh, are you Congolese?" Because of the way I was dancing and the way I was dressed. He's like, "Are you Congolese?" I was like, "No, I'm Kenyan." And he, with attitude. And then he was like, "Oh, okay." So then, in Swahili, tukishamaliza hapa, can we go somewhere else? I was like, "No, I'm not going anywhere after here. I'm going with my friends," because I came in with some girlfriends.
Wait, why do you speak with such such?
Because he came with so much confidence, I had to give it back to him. Like, who are you? Like, who the hell do you think you are? Just to come and tell me are you from Congo? That's okay, because he was asking me. But just that fact saying, after here, can we go somewhere? I was like, nah. Anyway, guess what? When we went to Aloys's house, party after party, guess who was there? Him. He was living with them. Can you imagine if I had gone?
Dad would imagine.
And then Dad invites me there.
Imagine. Then Dad would have been like, "Oh, wait a minute, yeah."
Like, what kind of girl is this? Anyway, he looked at me and I looked at him and he was like, "Oh, I know you." And I was like, "Yeah, you remember we met at Safari Park?" Yeah, he remembered me. Yeah.
Okay, so the point where you were like, "Damn, like I really like this guy."
Yeah, so after a bit, like I used to go on flights, we meet. Those days it was more not coffee, maybe go for lunch, then club. It was more in the bar, club. And he was a gentleman, he was nice, soft spoken, slow to speak, listening. And I thought, you know what? This guy is actually, he can make a good catch. Then I was thinking of a catch. I was not even thinking him, he was thinking, and I sat with him later, he was thinking me, the time I was dating him, I just knew you're going to be my wife. Me, I'm like,
really?
What? Yeah, he knew.
Wait, you said like he'd be a good catch. What do you mean, like a good boyfriend or something?
Yeah, good boyfriend.
Yeah, but not like...
I'm old school, catch, a good catch. Yeah, I was thinking this could be a good catch. It's nice. And one thing I liked about him, every time we met, he was very business oriented. That really, really, really was very impressive. Business minded. He would say, we can do this. Like, then he started a business, is going to Dubai. I'm bringing transport cars. I want to do this. Everything Dad spoke about was about business. And I thought, this guy, if he keeps thinking like this, actually we can go very far with him. I was not very business minded then. And I started thinking, I flew for 10 years and I was like, if I had been with Dad for those 10 years, I would have done so much in Nairobi. Somebody who can push me. Like, you think of things, but you don't have the confidence. Like, you want to do this, but you don't have the confidence. You don't feel safe to do it. But I was thinking, if I had this man, I would have done so much as a flight attendant, because I used to get money, but my money was just to buy clothes and have a nice apartment and furnish it. I love a good home. So that's why I put all of my money. But
was he not coming and saying to you, like, let's do this with the money?
Yeah, no. Because when I met Dad, it was just a few years. Yes, we did a bit, because we got a matatu from a van, passenger service vehicle from Dubai. But that was just the time also we're just about to come to Australia, so yeah.
Hey, I got a question for you. Are you smart? Are you a visionary? Well, the fact that you are watching this podcast is a good thing. I got something to tell you. I know time is the most valuable asset, so I'm going to get straight to the point. Here at the Rubasha Family Podcast, we've been focused on consistent output, getting amazing and quality content out to the people who come and support. How can we add value to people's lives? Now, you could be a small business owner or entrepreneur who wants to be able to expand your visibility, get your product or service in front of as many people as possible. The day and age that we're in, social media, podcasts, the fact that they're growing so much on YouTube. YouTube is allocating more budget into the podcast section in media. Why can't you be smart? Why can't you get ahead of the competitors and put your advertisements, put your visibility, your brand in front of as many people as possible? You could actually be one of the ones who is really smart in order to take advantage of this opportunity and put your ads in one of our videos at our lower prices as they are now compared to what they will be as our audience continues to grow and expand as much as we're consistent. So if you're really interested in having an advertisement space or brand visibility at the Rabasha Family Podcast, link is in the description. Send us an email and let's talk. Back to the video. So like when you guys were, let's say you guys were dating and seeing each other, you were also attracted to that mindset where he'd be talking about business,
yes,
future
it was more
plans.
the mindset. So for me, you know how people, yes, dressing is a big part. People like people who look good, you're well dressed. But for me, your father was very clever. He was wise. Let me use that. He was wise. He was business minded. He was wise. Yeah. He came up with a lot of wisdom. And even when he first told me that I'm struggling in Kenya and I can't get a permit to do anything, I think it would be wise for us to go to Australia where I can work and support the family as much as in Kenya, because from his background, the war, and his mom was left there and she was running a big business, so she used to send the money with the brother every time to Nairobi for maintenance, for rent. But you see what dad was doing? She sends the American dollars and dad goes to Dubai and buys.
So you could see like this man's also smart, like you could see a long-term vision.
Yes. So for me, I was just like, long-term relationship, he's calm, he's very business oriented, and I could see us going very far together. Yeah, that was for me. It was really big for me, because I needed somebody to push me a bit and just be focused
and have at least give you
have the drive.
Yeah, and direction. A bit of direction.
That's the word. So I was very, very. What can I say? For me, I just say that was a blessing. My prayer was answered. Yeah.
And I think like also what you saw, which is I think is what true is, a man doesn't deserve a woman if he doesn't have a vision.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So like you could see like, wow, what I also like about him is he has a vision. He's not just talking about He's talking about business, he's talking about opportunities. So that attracted you, I think, as a woman, like, okay, I could maybe submit to a man. Okay, yes, I'm doing what I love, flight attendant, but at least I'm a man who's wise, who's slow to speak, but also he has a vision.
Yeah, and what I had said before, like my father used to dress. You see this family,
Drippy.
every Annabelle and everyone dripping from my dad, even my mom. But my dad was the best dresser. But was he responsible as a father? No. So for me, dressing, and that's why I might be in the family, sometimes I'm the yes, I like to look good, but I will not go and spend like, I don't know how much on a shoe. No, that's me. But because I think of the future. So when I met him, he was not that drippy, but dad always had a nice watch and nice sunglasses. That was it. But the dripping was not drip. He was, dad never, it's the brother who used to dress so good, Alphonse. Alphonse had taste. But for me, at that time, I was just, my mind was like, he doesn't dress well, he wears a nice watch, but he's business minded and he's got wisdom. That's all I need for me right now.
But you did say something back before, like when you were a flight attendant, your mind also wasn't in terms of investing, it was like you were buying furniture, clothes, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you had that period, huh?
Yeah, so I had that period where it was, for me, the clothes I was buying, don't think that I was buying like, I'll go to a Louis Vuitton shop and no.
But still, you were still spending money on
I was
clothes.
actually putting more in my home. Best chairs, beds, TV. You know me, I like a good home.
Yeah.
So that is what I was doing.
Your money.
But then when I met Aloys, he was happy with the furniture, like what I was doing, investing in my home, but
into the
saying you can do better things with this money.
Yeah, you could do better. And it's just like, and even there's nothing wrong if someone wants to go and spend money on Louis Vuitton and designer things. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's just more like it's just the same facet of, okay, even you were spending on furniture instead of, and making a house into a home, which is important, but the same way as maybe you were spending it on that, or someone maybe spends on other things, it's about like the investments.
Yes.
How can we, like, you know,
and that is
balance?
how he directed me. So he directed me in showing me what priorities are. So that's how I learned priorities.
Yeah.
So there's priorities.
Priorities.
Priorities, yeah, you either buy clothes or you buy a house. Priorities, you open a business or you buy a shoe. So like you guys, that's what I say to you guys. So you go and buy a Nike shoe or you buy an apartment. So you priorities. So that's how he taught me about priorities. Yes.
Okay. When do you feel like you were in love with him? Like, damn, I fall in love.
I can't remember, but I fell in love and I just fell in love.
But you're saying he fell in love with you first?
Yeah, of course.
He fell in love.
Yes. So he, after a while, and I'm saying after all these things I saw in him, it took a while. That's when I gave him in and I said, this is a good boyfriend. And I was not even thinking as a husband, I was thinking a good boyfriend, because he, by the time, so at that time I was thinking, if anything goes bad, by the time anything goes bad, there's so much I've learned from him that I will not regret it. Exactly. Yeah, I will not regret. There's so much he has taught me. There's so much I've learned. There's so much I've acquired from him, as in brainstorming, so much. So by the time he decides, see you later, I decide see you later, there's much I've taken away from him.
At least I got a lot of value from this relationship.
Exactly, I've got values from him. And also another thing, he had values. He was God-fearing. That was really good. God-fearing. He comes from a Catholic home, and I told him I'm Pentecostal, and that doesn't mean you can't go to a Catholic church. And then that's when he said, you know what? We can go to Pentecostal together.
This video is sponsored by Eve Rabash's Patreon.
I can tell you guys, content creation is a game changer. But the thing is, you got to be patient. You got to be able to put in the work day after day, time after time, in order to get what you want in life. I've really looked at my experience. I've looked at what I've gone through, and I'm like, you know what? I can start helping people now. I can help people become content creators because I have found so many gems, so much knowledge. I mean, come on, the record speaks for itself. You go head out on my YouTube channel and you see what I'm doing out there. We are doing numbers. YouTube shorts are going crazy. My vlogs are going crazy, dropping every single day. I love you guys, man. I want you to grow. I want you to see a pathway for yourself. There's no limit to what you can achieve and where you are going. And if you're really serious about content creation, if you're really serious about being a YouTuber, I got the gems and I'm giving them away on my Patreon. Okay, this is a bit of a out of the range question. Do you think, okay, let me say it like this. I'll say it like this. Do you think, could you be with a man if he cheated on you?
Okay, interesting. The older I get, I always think like, if Aloys cheated me with a younger girl, I wouldn't be worried. Because younger girls, they just come in for little things, shoes, handbag, and then they take, when things are bad, they'll take off. But if he cheated on me with a mature woman, I'd be scared.
Yeah.
Because a mature woman will come and things like, maybe she needs an apartment, or maybe she wants to invest in a car or something big. But a young girl, I wouldn't worry.
So it would be
she's
like,
there for a season, and then she'll
then she'll dip.
And they're very they're just like, oh, but I saw some nice wig at Alibaba, or I saw a nice shoe at, I'll send you the link, you know. Yeah.
So those little things.
Yeah, those little things. So I wouldn't worry.
Yeah.
But an older woman, I'll panic.
What do you think? Like, what do you think that's made you get to that point? Because a lot of women would even say, if you even have anything by, like, divorce or breakup.
No. It depends. So the positives and the negatives in the relationship, right? So also the positives and negatives. If the negatives are there, see you later. But if the positives are there and then he's just made this little mistake, no, I'm willing to forgive. There's no excuse for cheating, because it's not, men come up, oh, because you're busy. There's no excuse. But if He genuinely apologized, and I can see he's remorseful, and I can see it's a genuine mistake he made, because temptations are there. Although we can fight temptations, I'll forgive, because his positives and the strength he brings in this relationship is huge. I will say, I'll let it slide.
Do you think it's different for men and women?
What?
In terms of like if a woman was to cheat, it's a bit...
If a woman was to cheat, a man will never forgive that. He will let you stay, but by the end of the day, anything you do, he'll be saying, oh, you cheated last time,
Yeah.
you're a prostitute.
Yeah.
He'll keep bringing it, any arguments you have. But as women, no. I will say, let's move on, but I will never remind you. I will, even if you come in and we have issues, I'll never remind you that part. But men, that's why when a woman, when you cheat on a man, just go.
Men, Kwanzaa, if a woman cheats on a man,
Kwanzaa African men,
they're bad, huh? They'll remind you.
African man will remind you till you go to the grave. Even you're sick in hospital, will remind you, but remember you cheated on me, I'll just forgive, but you remember you cheated. And you're sick in hospital.
Do you think that it kind of that it plays even in terms of like that's how it should be in a way? Because also I think if a woman cheats, it's also emotionally like, as a man they can cheat. It's not an excuse. A man should be in control of his sexual desire. So I'm not giving this as an excuse or a getaway for men. But in terms of like, a man could do it differently, where there's no emotions. He's just like you said.
Yes, there's
you know
no
what
emotions.
I mean?
Yes,
but
they're more emotionally detached.
Exactly.
Yes, there's no emotions. They're just doing it for the fun of it. For me, I don't think that. For example, if I was cheated, I should go and cheat. I don't think it will help me in any way.
It will hurt you.
It will hurt me. So for me, it's the best thing if the cheating continues. Might be that's the style that's the lifestyle you want to live, and it's better to leave you to go and live that lifestyle instead of just being there and you keep cheating and coming back and keep cheating and coming back.
Like if he was to keep doing it again.
Yes, if it was just now, because that's when it continues. That is your character. That is who you are.
Yeah.
And that is that you'll never change. So the best way is for you keep doing that, and then I go my way. And then if I meet someone else, we stay together, because it's not like us women who just want to go meeting this one and meeting Tom, Dick, and Harry and just keep going. No, I'm not like that.
But you know, Mom, they make them different than you people like you. Like you speaking, well, you're grown. You don't look like your age, but you're grown. But they don't make women like you no more, man. A lot of these young women, they'll say, hell no, if a man does that, I'm out, I'm gone. Which I can understand. All right, cool. I'm not judging that, but I just think that's the perspective of
but that is not also the values they have. It's because of social media. They've got so much things that they're listening to. They listen on this TikTok, they're listening to IG, comparing lifestyles, comparing, people who are saying this, so for them, it's not some of their values. Most of them don't even have values. Some of them don't even know who they are. Some of them haven't figured out who they are.
No, that happens.
Yeah, they don't know who they are. So it's just a matter of, just because they had what's her name? This not Beyonce. There's this one who shakes her booty. What's her name?
Who? Cardi B?
Not Cardi B. The other one.
Megan Thee Stallion?
No, the other one.
Shakes her booty.
Yeah, how can I forget?
Cardi B, Beyonce.
Cardi B, Beyonce. Who else?
Megan Thee Stallion.
Which else?
Kim Kardashian?
No, Kim Kardashian is white, African.
Black China, I don't know.
Not Black China, not for Robert Kennedy.
Is she an artist?
A singer, yeah, she's a rapper.
Not Rihanna.
One of the biggest rappers.
Cardi B,
with
bro.
attitude, not Cardi B, the other one.
She has attitude.
The one who sang that song. Drop it.
What song? Keep going.
If you shake that. Then they walk like cats.
Oh, Nicki Minaj.
Yes.
Yeah, Nicki Minaj.
They did that part, yeah. Yeah, so some of them, one of the girls is see Nicki Minaj, how to say, if a guy cheated on me, they go and copy what Nicki Minaj is. Nicki Minaj is just doing that for the social platform.
Facts.
But is that what she really does in her real life?
Facts.
No. She could be the most forgiving person on the planet. So most of these people,
And that's so true. A lot of women today, men as well, but you're controlled by what you see. You don't
Yes.
think for yourself.
No.
Like, wait a minute. Like, it depends to your situation. Okay, yes. Do I have a future with this man? Do we have things together? Do we have this? Is this really worth me leaving the relationship?
Yeah.
But like you said, or young, you're saying, yeah, I would never accept this. And for example, what you're saying is a lot of female artists, they'll rap in their songs like, go sleep with as many men as possible,
Yeah.
but they're the ones who have relationships. They're the ones who have boyfriends.
and they're doing it for what? Marketing.
Imagine.
They're selling they're selling the music. So, and that is why most of us Africans.
Hey, I got a question for you. Are you smart? Are you a visionary? Well, the fact that you are watching this podcast is a good thing. I got something to tell you. I know time is the most valuable asset, so I'm going to get straight to the point. Here at the Rubasha Family Podcast, we've been focused on consistent output, getting amazing and quality content out to the people who come and support. How can we add value to people's lives? Now, you could be a small business owner or entrepreneur who wants to be able to expand your visibility, get your product or service in front of as many people as possible. The day and age that we're in, social media, podcasts, the fact that they're growing so much on YouTube. YouTube is allocating more budget into the podcast section in media. Why can't you be smart? Why can't you get ahead of the competitors and put your advertisements, put your visibility, your brand in front of as many people as possible? You could actually be one of the ones who is really smart in order to take advantage of this opportunity and put your ads in one of our videos at our lower prices as they are now compared to what they will be as our audience continues to grow and expand as much as we're consistent. So if you're really interested in having an advertisement space or brand visibility at the Rubasha Family Podcast, link is in the description. Send us an email and let's talk. Back to the video.
Most, and not most, but a few of us have gone down the drain, even especially the boys. They listen to the rappers and what the rappers say in the music. Let's go and smoke weed. Let's go and smoke, I don't know what. People go and do that. But there are rappers who don't even smoke weed, but they talk about weed in the music. They talk about drugs in them. They don't even take the drugs.
Facts.
But they talk about it in the music. And we, Africans, most of us, listen to this and we want to be cool and we're going to do the stuff they're talking about. And yet they don't do it.
And you're taking their thoughts into your subconscious, and that's dictating the way you're thinking.
Yes.
This guy don't even take drugs. He ain't even, I'll give you people an example. I like Young Dolph, and he'll say a lot of the times in his music where he'll talk about other women.
Yeah.
We don't know obviously, but he's in a loving relationship, black woman at home, family, the great family, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe he's just playing also to a character. Like it's like I'm an actor, you know what I mean? Like I'm in acting, I might go and sleep with different women, but I gotta. So it's just like what I think is what you're saying is so important. It's like think for yourself. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, because that's where your question came in and said that most of a lot of young girls would come and say if this guy is doing that, it's because immaturity also plays a part. There's so much social media going on. There's a lot of things, the pressure, there's watching this, they're listening to this, and most of this generation, it's the internet that's bringing them up. So they don't have that relationship with parents like we had. You sit down with your parent. Okay, we didn't really sit down and talk about things, but most parents now can sit down and talk to their children about sex and stuff like that. So most of them don't even do that. They're just on internet. So the internet is bringing them, and then they have that stinking attitude because of what they're seeing on the internet.
But to be honest, I don't think many African parents even have that talk with their parents. Like we never had talked about sex really. Like for me, because I felt like even though not social media, I felt that's hella awkward. Like what the hell, like dad. But as I said, I lived by myself by the time I was 17.
Yeah.
So I would, for example, but I was learning of people who were cool. For example, when I got into Sweden, and so like I'm learning more as a matter of that. But why? Yeah, Africans don't really do that.
And having said that, we're just blessed that you left home when you're 17, very vulnerable. 17 is under minor, very vulnerable. But God is amazing. You went out there, the way you held yourself, the way you lived with people, and we never spoke to you about things like that. I think it's just now we can talk about it, I guess, but at one stage, because you were more out with Ian, and I think for us African parents, it's just more like, right now you go out with a girl, she falls pregnant, child support will be chasing you. You've not enjoyed your money. So that's what we think about, and that's what Dad was saying at Letitia's. That's why do we Africans just think about pregnancy? We don't think about anything else.
Imagine.
Yeah, and that's the first thing everyone thinks about. Oh, you make a girl pregnant, they'll be chasing you in Australia. You know, it's not easy. That is what we're just thinking about. Of course, you should pay child support because that is your child. But are you ready to do that? Do you wanna? Because that's what I used to say. You guys love Nike. Nikes are $300. You like nice shirts, clothes. So when you have a child, you can't buy those Nikes because the child needs 300. The child needs like 200. So you're left with 100. So that is what we used to talk about. But we generally actually don't talk about that.
I think that's something that it's not really talked about. Like, but you're right. Like, it's crazy. I did leave when I was 17.
Yeah.
But like the positive for me was, and maybe you guys had faith in that, I don't know really, but when I went overseas, because I could have maybe had that and started chasing women, but because I was just so focused on what I was doing.
That was
my thing. I was so focused.
That is why
I promise you, let a woman. You guys were confident.
We saw you from the time you were 3 years old playing football, the passion, the madness. I remember even in the house, you kicking, just standing and kicking my stools, and I'm like, Eve, you're imagining it's a ball.
I was crazy.
I was confident. You reminded me so much of my father. That's one part of my father. I knew you'd never trip. I had so much confidence. You'd never trip. Because that was your dream. Like, it was everything you did, Eve. You ate soccer, you breathed, your air, whatever you were breathing was soccer.
Football.
You ate soccer. You, in school, it was soccer. I remember even when you went to high school, the school was for rugby union, was it? But you twisted their minds and they started following football.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is how I know you were.
I was always in my own world.
Yeah, you were always in your own. You're never carried away. So, or because people are playing rugby, you got to play rugby. You were like, no. It's about football.
But you know what though, like, I remember you used to, Eve, I remember one time you told me, Eve, I saw a boy in the newspaper, he met a woman and he was a good football player and it distracted him. Imagine you told me. So I don't know if also that played in my subconscious mind too.
Yeah.
It could have, but I was still always so full. Like when I was traveling, like it never, okay, yes, women would now start to come to me and stuff like that, but I was just so into this. It's like, I have training at 9 a.m, I have training at 5 p.m. I can never let nothing come in between that. And I think it put me at an advantage because women, it got to a point as I got older and matured, like you said, play hard to get, women would chase me. Yeah.
No, which was good because you were into it, yes. And I remember that story because there was this boy who was a very good soccer player. He actually received, those days we used to use mails, not emails. He received a mail to go and play somewhere in Europe. And she just distracted and convinced him, and actually she didn't give him the mail or something like that. She received the mail. Yeah, she hid it.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Imagine. So you'll ruin, like you even said, I'm not going to ruin my dreams for a man.
Yeah.
So it's just like, but like you said, I just think people need to have that focus. Like I remember even one time, I'll tell you this quick story. I was in Sweden. So there was a girl, she had texted me, she said, hey, she had lost a place to go or something. So she said, can I come and sleep at your place? I'd never really met her, but we connected on, social media. So I was like, okay. But, she came and imagine she just slept on the couch. Me, I didn't, And then the next day she told me, she said, I've never met someone like you. A man invite you, some men, maybe they can try and hit on her or something. You were watching football. I was thinking, is this man even interested? Does he even like, she couldn't get you know what I mean? And I think it's just like when you live a life with passion.
And you gotta have also self-control because some people could just set you up. You could go in, they could come there, try something. By the time they're calling police, they're saying you raped them, you did. You gotta be very, very have a self-control because these women, us women, we can be evil. It's true,
she could have come because she came by herself, right? I had another friend at the crib, a black man in Australia. Imagine, mum. There was a bed here. I slept on. I said he gave her a blanket. I didn't. I just slept. As I said, most men. Oh, I got a girl in my crib. I didn't even. So even for her, it's like, And then I'm gentle. I'm a gentleman. I'm coming. I'm watching football. But you're right. It's true.
That's why most African men have been in trouble because of things like that. Because self-control, they don't have it. touch a woman, and that is it. Your career, your reputation ruined,
Done.
down the drain.
You know, I know a player in Sweden. He was playing for Malmo. That was a club named a big team.
Yeah.
He had a contract. He signed there. He had done well. Came from the lower leagues. Caught a rape charge. I think the girl was 15 or something, and he was from Ghana. Those things.
See?
Imagine.
Because no lots of
Deported.
Yeah.
Prison and then deported. And
Yeah.
you're playing for Malmo.
Yeah.
All that money you were earning, he bought property, the government.
Yeah.
Imagine.
That is why you have to have self-control. This even now doesn't matter whether you're 17, whether you're 18. Now you're turning 27, Ian 30, Emmanuel 24. You have to be careful. Careful. I watch it on the news every day here. This, especially these players went hotel, group of boys, girls come into the room, something goes, and that is it.
That's it.
Some things like that, it's better once they say they're calling a girl, walk away. Even it's better saying, guys, I'll be back, and you disappear.
Hey, it's true, man. There's so many situations, and that's why, to be honest, like, Mom, I'm also happy I'm in a relationship because I don't have to go through that. I don't have to go.
No,
a woman can't.
No, but people who are in trouble today are people who have wives. Forget about girlfriend. They're in a hotel. They're playing food, this rugby, whatever.
That's true.
They go away for the game away. They go in a hotel somewhere, like maybe Newcastle. They're having a drink. They go back to the hotel. These are people with wives. They don't have wives. They go to a hotel. A girl comes from nowhere. They're in the hotel room. Things go wrong. Police, people are charged. It's on the news every day. That's what I'm saying. If it's a group like that, you know, oh, there's a girl coming. And some girls follow these players because they follow them on social media. Or they'll be at Newcastle, they'll be here. So they keep following them.
They follow them,
and then they DM them. They direct message them. Oh, you guys are here. We can come in for a drink. And then that's where the problem is. So your friends say, oh, there's this girl coming. That is the time you say,
I'm out.
Yeah, you don't have to tell them I'm out. You just say, oh, guys, let me go and grab something. I'm coming. Because when you say I'm out, they say, oh, it's going to be the snitch. Blah, blah, blah. Just say I'm out, I'll be back. And that's why you go and sleep in your room. And lock the door.
Don't do it, man. But like, it's again having control of your. Like another again, I'm gonna reference Dolph. He said in an interview, you know, he's a big rapper, and so he said a girl came in the room, and I think she did something very sexual, and then she said, and then he said, do you guys usually do this to guests? Like, and he kicked her out. He said, I mean, I'm a big time rapper. Like the state of the art we're in, a woman can, man. Yeah. Black man, you're
and
done.
And you see that is a setup.
Setup.
You don't know where the video camera is. And most of these young girls I've seen on TV, there's a camera somewhere. There's always some evidence. Like, it's so bad. And that's why we've got so many rugby players here who have gone down because of that. Because
of women. Women. Yes. And women are everywhere.
Yes.
And then you're just forgotten about your life is done.
And even sometimes it could be consent, but they deny.
It could be what? Oh, consensual. Yeah.
It's consensual, but until your reputation is at stake. So you've gone to arrested a bit, might be released on bail, and then you're in court. It will take maybe 2 years, but your reputation is damaged. You're innocent, but your reputation is damaged.
And it's not
because of the spotlight to the national TV every day talking about you and this girl. Until the magistrate finds actually it was consensual. By the time he says you're not guilty, everyone is talking about it.
There was even another one. Just my friend sent me a group message. He was kind of a bit mad. Like Brazilian players, he's like, I feel they have a complex because they usually just have white women. But anyway, this Brazilian player, he went to Spain. Then in the nightclub or something, there's a sexual assault allegation. I don't know. I think they're saying that he raped her. The judge, because he lives in Brazil or Mexico, they don't have jurisdiction there. Yeah. But when he looked at the bail appeal, he said the evidence, boom, in Spain, and he's a big time footballer, big Dani Alves, in jail because of this. His wife divorced him straight away, divorced, and he's now crying in prison, saying my wife divorced me.
But maybe that was not the first incident for the wife to divorce. There are other things that had happened earlier on, there was not much substantial evidence, but this one now, okay, see, this is what I've been thinking.
But then even another one, French, he plays in France, PSG player. The wife and the kids went on holiday. He invited a girl on Instagram. What did she do? Called the police. It could be consensual. Look, now now he has to go and fight a case. If he's done it, then he should be convicted. But if he hasn't, but why? You put yourself in that position. There's no one else to blame but you. You couldn't be smart. You couldn't control your desires. You're weak.
So self-control, we have to be very careful.
Yeah. Mom, I think that was it. That was a very good episode.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being on. There's so many things we can talk about here. Like we can talk about for hours. Honestly. But I think again, we're giving such good content to these people. What you're saying is so valuable. I think people will take a lot of entertainment, because I think this is a very entertaining episode. I can't wait to go make some clips right now, edit a little bit, because we're going viral. But I think you have a lot of value, and it's cool to talk as a mother or son about these things. Some things we've never even talked off camera, but we're talking on the podcast. Great. So we're also at the same time like, this is how it should be, and to bring these conversations, mother, son, mother, father, auntie, you know what I mean? I think we're changing the game, not only in Australia but around the world. And this podcast is going amazing places. So we wouldn't do it without people like yourself. And you're going to be doing this full time.
Yeah, that's my dream.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking? I was like, we're going to make this a network, literally like a network. And then you're going to have your own show. Sure. So you bring in everything set up. We don't need it. We have a team. Everything produces. Yeah. Your mom just comes in. You get your wine. Your full-time job, literally. Have a cameraman. So you have your own YouTube channel. Then you have your network where you have where you bring on your guests. You talk your shit.
I can't wait for that.
Right.
And also I can't wait for my grandchildren to listen to their grandmother.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
their grandchildren listening to their grandmother.
Yeah, they're gonna get some guidance. Some, don't be listening to all these stuff that you see. Listen to people like yourself. They need to hear your voice for real. What you were saying on this episode. Man, this game right now is crazy. The state we're in with women and stuff, men and women, because there's a lot of useless men. So facts. All right,
darling.
See you guys.
To go.
Bye.